Hi everyone, my name is Gautam from Enrisen, and today we are going to talk about the implications of GRE and GMAT test waivers on your university application strategies. As many of you would be aware, there are a lot of universities which have waived off the requirement for submitting your GRE or GMAT test scores along with your applications for the fall 2021 intake. And this has mostly happened because of the current COVID-19 situation, right? So in this video, what we are going to do is first understand the implications of this waiver. Then we will talk about various strategies that that you can use while submitting your applications. And then right at the end, I also want to quickly touch upon the English language tests such as IELTS and TOEFL, right? So when universities say that GRE or GMAT or any standardized test has been waived off, the most important thing to understand is that it does not make admission into a particular university easier, right? Because the competition has not reduced. It's just that the universities have modified their evaluation criteria or their evaluation process for the fall 2021 intake, right? So let's first understand what a GRE or a GMAT test evaluates, right? So a GRE or a GMAT test evaluates your academic aptitude or intelligence to successfully complete a intensive graduate program, right? So in case this score is not available when the university is evaluating your application, universities are going to look at alternative aspects of your application, which will help them evaluate your academic aptitude. And the most logical aspect that universities will look at as an alternative to GRE is your GPA, right? Or your CGPA. So what happens when a GRE or a GMAT is waived off is that there is a lot more focus on your GPA as part of the application evaluation process, right? So not only does your GPA matter, but also the college in which you completed your undergrad matters, right? So the universities will evaluate whether your college was a NAAC accredited A grade college, B grade college, or a C grade college, right? And you can check out the grading of your colleges on the NAAC website, right? So the most important thing to understand is that when you are not submitting your GRE or your GMAT, your GPA becomes extremely important in the evaluation of your application, right? So and I'm going to give you a very sort of high level benchmark that you can use to evaluate your eligibility for particular university, right? So in the absence of GRE or in the absence of GMAT, if you are applying to a top 25 university, you would really need to have a GPA of more than 9. For universities ranked between 25 to 50, you would need to have a GPA of more than 8.5. For universities which are ranked 50 to 75, you are looking at a GPA of more than 8. And for universities which are ranked say between 75 to 100, you are looking at a GPA of 7.5 plus, right? And these GPAs are considering a NAAC A grade university or college. In case you have done your undergraduation from a B grade university, then you need to slightly increase these benchmarks when you compare your profile or assess your profile for particular universities. Now, given this sort of circumstance or given this situation, let us analyze or understand what strategies are going to be available. And the strategies are going to be dependent on what option the university has offered, right? So typically universities will offer one of three options. Option number one is the GRE or GMAT test requirement will be waived off and it will not be considered, right? Which means that even if you submit your GRE or GMAT as part of the application, the university will not consider that score while evaluating your application. So in this case, there is no real benefit to submitting your GRE or GMAT score. And at the same time, it is very important to assess whether your GPA would meet broadly the benchmarks that I indicated to you, right? So that's important to keep in mind. The second category of universities, and which is probably the largest category of universities, is where they waive off GRE requirements, but at the same time, they make it optional, right? Which means that you're not required to submit your GRE or GMAT. But if you submit your GRE or GMAT, it will be considered as part of the application evaluation, right? So now here it becomes extremely important to make a strategic call on whether it makes sense to submit your score or it doesn't make sense to submit your score, right? So in my opinion, if your GRE or sorry, or if your GPA meets the criteria that I had mentioned, right? So 9+ in case of a top 25 school, or 8.5+ in case of a school which is ranked in the top 50. In that case, you are okay to not submit your GRE score and sort of rely on the strength of your GPA to help you get admission to those universities. However, if you are not meeting the criteria by a little bit, right? So let's say you want to apply to a top 25 school, but your GRE is only, or sorry, your GPA is only 8.5. So in that case, it will make sense to bolster your application by writing your GRE and trying to get a good score on your GRE, which will help sort of make up for that slightly lower GPA compared to what the benchmark is. Right, so you have to evaluate from the perspective of what is your GPA versus what is the kind or ranking of university that you are planning to apply to. And if you are slightly not meeting the benchmark, it always still helps to write your GRE and submit your GRE score along with your application in case the GRE score requirement is optional. And the third category of universities is where they haven't waived off the GRE or GMAT requirement, in which case, again, you really do not have an option and you can go ahead and submit your GRE or GMAT scores along with the application, right? So I hope that sort of clarifies the situation a little bit with respect to GRE, GMAT waivers, the implications of that, and also what kind of strategies you can use considering your profile and also considering the universities you are planning to apply to. Before we end, just a quick note on the English language test requirement, right? As you know, most universities require you to submit an IELTS or a TOEFL as part of your application. Now, while this requirement has not been waived off by majority of the universities, what has happened is the universities have said, or many of the universities have said, that they are okay to accept the Duolingo test score as an alternative to TOEFL and IELTS. Now, this is actually great news because it has two implications. One, the Duolingo test is a much cheaper test. It costs only $49. You can write it from home. And also it's a much easier test compared to a TOEFL or an IELTS. So my experience is that it is not very difficult to score 110 or 120, which is the minimum score that universities accept on a Duolingo test, right? So so that's definitely an option that all of you can consider in terms of writing a Duolingo test instead of your TOEFL or an IELTS. Helps you save a little bit of money, but at the same time also it's an easier test, so it's easier to meet the minimum criteria for application, right? So I hope this video was useful to you, and we'll keep on sharing more and more tips and sort of feedback with you to help you with your study abroad process. If you liked the video, please press on the like button, and we'd also appreciate if you can subscribe to our channel so that you get notifications as and when we post new videos on the study abroad process. Thank you so much.